TCS had been doing several engagements with pharma companies worldwide. In that capacity, we have gained a lot of domain knowledge in the pharma industry. We worked with large companies, we earned a lot of knowledge on best practices. That we have a lot of pharma specialists who are not software developers, but they are specialists in pharmacology, they are specialists in business process design for pharmaceuticals, and they are working with TCS in coming up with ERP solutions and practices. We have about 40 customers in pharmaceuticals, mostly in bulk drugs, some are in formulations. Some of them are very well-known domestic brands like Ozone, Nomarks, of course Indochem is there. So what I will spend today, the next few minutes, is I will talk about ERP in general. I will not jump into what ION is about. What are the key decisions you should take when it comes to implementing an ERP? What are the best practices you should look forward to? And what are the areas where practically you can achieve an improvement in process? So what I call is the top best practices for ERP. After talking about this, I will talk about a bit about ION and how it delivers these practices and what is the benefit it eventually comes to the customer. We talk about it in two contexts. One is integration and another is control. We all have used accounting software, we all have used other software which looks after invoicing, some look after inventory. But the reason why ERP comes into the picture is that these all become connected. All the departments are connected with each other through online, there is less paperwork. The most important thing is that an ERP brings in is control. By control I mean that when a small business is growing, there is an apprehension about whether certain policies are being flouted or not, whether payments are strictly happening against purchase orders, whether the job orders are strictly done according to the schedule, whether the wastages, scraps or recycling of byproducts are being done with proper accounting. So we try to bring in a control by bringing visibility in the system and checks and balances in the processes to see that the workforce in the shop floor is following the processes as per what has been prescribed. There are 5 process areas which we try to optimize. One is the finance and accounting, the other is procurement, the third is production system, the fourth is the sales process, and the fifth is very important to the pharma industry, that is quality. Now I will talk about 3 best practices in each of these areas that are very important for an ERP to implement in order to get value from the ERP and see business change in your organization. In finance and accounting, the first thing that we look at is a segregation of duties. By segregation of duties, we mean that the person who is creating a document and the person who is approving the document are 2 different departments who may not have a possibility of collusion. This is more from an audit perspective or control perspective. For example, the person who is issuing the purchase order and the same person is issuing the payment voucher, you may have a risk, you may have a financial risk or you may have a collusion risk. So segregation of duties is a workflow system which has to be defined in the ERP system so that all the departments are given their roles and responsibilities. We need to see that the roles and responsibilities are appropriately synchronizing with each other. At the same time, there are conflicts and checks and balances to see that there is no flouting or collusion within your organization. So the second practice I would talk about for the finance account is the cost center and the profit center. There is a difference between the two. Profit center is applicable when you have a strategic business unit or a product which is a center of a profit. So you would like to have a separate profit and loss statement for each profit center so that you would like to compare how your various or how your product portfolio is performing. Cost center is applicable for shared services, for example HR function, sales function, or for example your quality function. You would like to maintain cost centers. Normally cost centers run within budgets. You would like to deploy budgets and control budgets within cost centers and see whether the utilization is appropriate or not. So profit center is a best practice. It will help you see the profitability product wise, unit wise. Cost center is a best practice in terms of containing your expenditures by bringing in budgets or a culture of budgets. So these are the three top practices which we try to instill when in the finance and accounting department once we bring in an ERP system. Now second is procurement. I talked about the integration with purchase order with payment and the segregation of duties, but that is very routine. That is done by most ERP systems. The key in important best practices that we see in good ERPs is they bring in some higher functionalities which are actually value adding. For example, to control purchase order with payments or control payments with purchase order is also done in accounting softwares like Tally, but you would require, particularly in pharma industry, higher practices which will bring in better control and visibility. So one is vendor rating. You would like to rate your vendors in terms of the quality of delivery they have done, in terms of prices, in terms of the timing or the on-time delivery they have done, and accordingly plan your future procurement portfolio that you have. So vendor rating is an important practice which we should follow and we should expect an ERP to deliver. The second is min-max. There are a lot of consumables, factory spare parts, maintenance spare parts, packaging materials which are maintained on an ad hoc basis. Typically the process that is followed is the specific department gives a requisition and the stores raises a purchase order which is cleared by finance. There are two problems in this practice. One is that the requisition is given on a reactive manner. It does not anticipate the shortfall that may come into the picture, which may lead to production loss or a delivery loss. And the second is you may end up with excess inventory, average inventory, because you are keeping a higher buffer stock just to compensate for the indiscipline that is there in the store department. So min-max is reviewed time to time to see that the optimum level of min-max is put into the system so that the inventory is in a economically low cost level. The third thing is, which we look at in procurement, is auto scheduling. Normally is left at the behest of the purchase department who negotiate with the suppliers. They also have some heuristic calculation on what is the appropriate purchase time, what is the appropriate stock levels when the purchase should happen. So what we expect in ERP is that some kind of a scheduling system which connects your procurement, that is purchase order, with your production schedule. The purchase orders are automatically raised when a sales order is booked and when a production is scheduled. The requisite quantity is calculated, the lead time is factored, and the vendor is picked based on the vendor rating, and automatically a purchase order is raised. Finally, when I talk about auto scheduling, I essentially mean material requirement planning, MRP, which is at the heart of a good ERP system, which is able to pick your sales forecast, your sales orders, and accordingly see what is the inventory level, and thereby put a job order or a job schedule into the shop floor. And not only that, it goes further down to calculate what is the raw material required to actually execute those job orders. And if there is a short of raw material, it automatically raises the purchase order. So this entire cycle from sales order to procurement is not done by any human intervention, it is done by sheer planning. Essentially, two types. One is a made-to-stock MRP that is particularly relevant to the pharma companies in bulk drug. Your orders are executed against a buffer stock or a forecast that you receive from the market. So this MRP, what it does is it allows you to record what is the forecast you have for the forthcoming period, and then run a MRP batch that automatically schedules your plant executions and the purchase orders that is required for the raw material to be brought in. The second type of MRP is made to order, that is the production is strictly made against a specific order. So you record your sales order from your customer, and a MRP batch is run, and that schedules the production. It does not allow you to produce excess of what is there in the order unless you want to keep a safety stock, which is also dictated by the system. The other important best practice you should look forward to in production is job feedback. When you do execute a job order, there are multiple levels of operation that happens. There's a reactor on which the pharmaceutical is put in. there is a packaging, there is an excipient overlay. These operations, you would like to track what has been the consumption level, what has been the output. If you do that, then you will actually get operation-wise visibility on what is the productivity, and thereby optimize your operation and routing process. So operation level job feedback is very important when you implement an MRP system or a production system within the ERP. Now coming to the sales process, the important part of sales process, typically every ERP would have a sales order system, an inquiry system connected to a sales order system, a sales order system connected to shipment, and thereby it goes to the collection process. But this is something which is very basic. What you should further look at is how to optimize your sales cycle, how to reduce the order to cash cycle. The important practice that you should look at is whether the ERP gives you any method of forecasting what is the sales, recording the forecast, and accordingly schedule your production based on that forecast. And that forecast should generate what should be the shipment schedule for the forthcoming period. The second important compliance, this is not a best practice, but I would say an essential practice, is that export documentation is very diverse in this country. There are multiple compliances and multiple provisions in the export. There is ARE3, there is ARE1, there is CT2, CT3 for deemed export. There are so many variations that you require a ERP software which is India-centric and complies with the Indian laws for the export documentation. Finally, the third best practice in the sales side is the price matrix. You should have ability to lock the prices with your customers. Your customers give you monthly purchase orders, and those prices should be not something which should be searched during the invoicing time. It should be something which should come as a policy during the invoice, and you should enforce it as a policy so that the person who is doing the invoice, who may be a clerical staff, he should not be able to do mistake or flout what are the prices which has been set with your customer by you. Now coming to the most important part in pharmaceutical, that is quality control. There are three areas where we look at quality control. One is the procurement. There should be a quality control during the GRN process, and that should have effect in your vendor rating. That should also have effect in the settlement rate that you have with the customers. That should have effect in also the payment terms that you have with the customers. So how much you pay is a function of what is the quality result that has gone through. But this should not come as something which is desired. It should come as a process, it should come as a control. Whenever the goods have arrived, there should be a GIN. The GIN which should automatically transfer the goods to the quality department. The system should, in the system, the goods should be available to the quality department, who will be able to key in what are the results of the various specification parameters, and based on that, what is the acceptability level. That information should flow to the stores so that he can close the procurement by entering the GRN, and then there is a purchase order, there is a purchase voucher which is raised. The second thing is the certificate of analysis. A lot of us send material for testing outside, or we do it inside, internally within the organization, and there is a elaborate process of reporting the COA in this industry. That process should be well optimized. The specifications have to be properly consolidated. It has to also comply with the statutory laws, and there should be proper definition of range and handling of cases of exception or excesses. So certificate of analysis is a very important document, and it should be carefully evaluated how rich it is to comply with the industry requirement. Finally, in this industry, there is a process of making material or quarantining the material till the time there is a sufficient test of potency and of course of the batch testing that is done. So every batch is applicable for retesting. So we should check whether the ERP supports pharmaceutical material either in semi-finished good or in finished good, or it may even be a component in the plant or the reactor, whether it is tested periodically, and it is tested not only in process but also off process. By off process means that it may have completed its production, its quality test may have happened, it's been lying in the godown for some time, and since it has been lying for some time, it is applicable for another round of quality check before it is made eligible for shipment. So what we gain by doing this, as I said, ERP is about control. MIS reports you can still produce by putting some people in your shop floor collecting data on what is the actual production, what is the actual consumption, and you can produce your MIS reports maybe with a lead time of 5 or 7 days after if not real time, but maybe with a lead time. But why SMEs look for ERP is control. They want to see that the policies that has been laid down is actually followed in the shop floor, whether there is not any flouting happening in the shop floor, and whether there is a high level of integration between the departments. So you control three things: the consumption, and thereby you control your cost, you control your quality, and third is you control your compliance. That is the aim of a ERP in a pharmaceutical industry. Now coming to ION, when we made ION for the pharma industry, we actually brought in a lot of practitioners who work with large companies, and we made a conscious decision what would be applicable for small business in a different way, because small business requires different levels of flexibility. At the same time, they also have a different category of controls altogether. So when we brought in those practitioners, we brought in these practices into ION and packaged it. And I can tell you a lot of these features are still being enhanced. There are a lot of more controls and configurations that are being added every day. But important thing is, when we talk about an ERP with this kind of an integration and automation, there are three things that we promise along with it. First is, cloud ERP is available on pay as you use basis. That is, it is available on rent. You pay per month. There's a 3-year contract, and you pay a service charge per month, and that is how there's no capital investment. There is no investment that you have to make and wait for to be lucky enough for the ERP to go live tomorrow with full realization of investment. The second factor is that this is implemented by TCS consultants. We implement the software, we come to your premises, we speak to your people, your department owners, we try to see what is the integrated picture, what is the business model, and then bring in what are the best practices necessary for your organization to improve, and then decide what are the features and functionalities which are applicable to your business and implemented. Thirdly is, we promise that our implementations will go live in 90 days. We have a field force of 200 consultants today all over India who are implementing ION, and we in fact have a sizable force in Hyderabad. So while you sign the contract today and your license starts today, subscription starts today, we will not take more than 90 days for the first phase to go live, where most of your core processes will be on the system and you will be seeing the benefit. So this is the power of cloud software, in fact, that you don't have to have a hardware or to host a software. You don't have to put a data center to host it, and you don't have to also put it on internet for people to access it from multiple sites. This is on cloud. It is accessible from everywhere. It is activated from day one, and it is implemented with best practices in 90 days. So that is the power of cloud ERP. It's packaged in ION, and it is here for you.